Welcome to the New York Professional Spotlight. Host Roman Kirzhner sits down with successful professionals from across New York to uncover the stories, strategies, and expertise behind their achievements.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the New York Professional Spotlight show with Roman Kirzhner. I'm glad that we have our guest today. His name is Rafi Glantz. He is highly respected New York professional in the fields of financials and leadership and financial management. Welcome to our show and happy to have you this morning.
Thank you for having me. Very nice to be here.
Absolutely. All right, let's just start from the very beginning. Okay, can you just give us like a quick glance of what is your snapshot of? What snapshot of your professional career, of your business career, what you're doing?
For sure. I guess right now I both advise and help run sales at startups, and I'm also a licensed financial advisor. So I help people with everything from investments to insurance to retirement planning to estate planning to even long-term care. At the same time, I work with many, in particular, Israeli business owners, both on the personal and the business side of their planning and kind of how those two things work together. So they have a saying in the United States, it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And particularly in the case of business owners, that is extremely relevant. And we learn things as time goes on. So not to get too into it too quickly, but most people I know who started a business did not start it segregating their business and personal bank accounts. And that's all well and good when you've got, a lemonade stand. When you start hiring employees, that becomes quite the problem. So that's kind of where I live currently. I'm also very excited about some work that we're doing with Loved by AI, where I'm now head of sales. Loved by AI is a groundbreaking, it's a research company first, but the products are very, very interesting as well. And the core thing that we do is run scientific studies and publish quality research on AI search and what is effective and what is not. So, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, everybody started realizing, we should probably do SEO because Google matters. Now the same thing is happening with AI search. And while a lot of people believe, SEO is still important, and it is, there is only a 12% overlap in the number of people who are recommended on the first page of Google versus the number of people who are recommended by AI models like ChatGPT. And you would think that there would be quite a lot more overlap, but there isn't. And so we're helping to bridge that gap for, every company that wants Claude to like their product.
Absolutely. AI is a fascinating tool, but we have to remember that it's just a tool, and if you have to know how to use it. And
Exactly.
Absolutely, and that's so many different platforms, and everyone who wants to learn about it, it's absolutely it's amazing that people not knowing anything about AI, because in a couple more years, my understanding, it will be either company who will use AI or company they don't exist.
I think there's going to be a lot of use of it. I don't want to be so doom and gloom about it because diffusion takes a long time, right? There are still businesses out there that are brick and mortar that don't know about Google, and they're successful businesses. So the sky is not falling, but at the same time, the tech industry is going to kind of convert to this new AI religion a lot quicker than everybody else. And the real leverage point is going to be these humanoid robots that if they can actually, today they're doing the laundry and doing the dishes, it's all well and good. If we get to a point 5 to 10 years from now where those robots can do everything a plumber can do, then we have a real societal problem, because we will still and always require experts in the field to oversee these robots, but we will need less and less of them. And we will have no need at all for entry-level people. And of course, here's the conundrum. We have no need for entry-level people. We do have a need for a small number of highly skilled people. Where do we get those highly skilled people? because we're not going to hire any low skilled people. Where do we get the high skilled ones? So then I see us going a little bit backwards to a bit of a medieval structure where education and, you know, the competition for these jobs becomes so aggressive that very few people will end up getting them. There's a really interesting show, a series of books first, and then a show on Amazon Prime called The Expanse, where they've progressed so far, and it's a very realistic look at it, that the majority of humans who live on Earth are on universal basic income, and they call it basic. Andrew Yang suggested this not so long ago, and I'm starting to think, for better or for worse, we may not have an alternative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I like that take. You're up to date with AI, and I really appreciate your input on this one. I'm listening to everyone who is having fascination about AI and how to use it anyway. And so in your field, it's a lot of talented professionals. I would like to know, and you know better than anyone else, what sets you apart from, and what comes naturally to you that for others may be challenging.
I don't know. I think I have an advantage because I speak multiple languages. I speak Hebrew, English, Swahili, a little bit of Japanese, some Spanish. So that's a big advantage to kind of make people feel at home and understood. I think also, I don't know, it's really the personal skills, just being able to talk, being able to bullshit with people. That's probably the most important aspect of success, if I had to put something on it.
Absolutely. You have your own unfair advantages because you're multilingual, and it's a great advantage anyway, because you, by knowing the language, you know the culture, kind of, sort of, and you know how
Very
to
much
talk to
so.
people. Yeah. Yeah. And on other hand, I would like to know what the biggest challenge in your career that you experiencing right now, and what did you learn from that experience of challenges?
I think it's scaling, probably. That, you know, the more what I've learned through trying to scale multiple businesses and successfully scaling a couple, the more organized you can be in the early stages and the more effective systems that you can build, continuously test and continuously improve, the more effective you're going to be. Because this is something I tell young parents as well, in a different sense. It is not going to get easier later. Your life is not going to get less complicated or less busy. Certainly not if you're talking about having children, which is the case with a lot of young families. You know, oh, we're making a lot of money and we have this going for us, we have that going for us. It will be fine. We'll deal with this in 6 months. Said you're having a baby in 3 months. Do you think you're going to have more time or less time? And anyone who has children will tell you, what is time? I don't even have a watch anymore. So that, I think, is probably the biggest thing, that if you can put discipline and automation and proper processes and protocols in place early, you will be much better positioned in the long run for any kind of success, not just in business.
Absolutely. That's as my philosophy as well. We can deal with the problem. We hate surprises, and when someone is not ready financially, it is a surprise. You have to do planning. You have to know what you're doing, and and having a child, it's not a surprise. You're planning for that, right?
You should be.
You're better off if you're not
You'd
doing
be
that.
surprised some of the stories we hear.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to go even to that path anymore.
Yes.
All right. And another question I have, probably, what, since this continuation of your career, what is the next 6 to 12 months looks like in your exciting project? Do you working on anything big and fascinating?
Right now, it's Loved by AI is probably what gives me the most energy. We're really making some massive changes in an industry that is just now starting to grow. So it looks like on the surface in this SEO for AI industry that there's a ton of competition and everybody's doing this, right? Because anybody can build anything with Claude or any other AI tool, right? You can have it working in a day. And there's an argument to that. But we are approaching it from a much more comprehensive and research originated standpoint. And I think that gives us a much stronger position because every company wants to leverage AI and they all mean something different by that. And they all want to leverage data and they all mean something different by that. And they don't all 100% know what that means. The other problem is that they don't have a ton of data and they have very specific data. They have their own data, right? They know what works for their customers in their industry. That silos them naturally, just like how in regular science, right, in physics, the scientists have to talk to each other from labs around the country and read each other's papers, even if those papers are in different disciplines, right? Magnetism versus electricity, or even though those are linked, right? If you don't understand the whole picture, you're not going to have the proper outcomes. And our company, not only are we running proper scientific studies on thousands of websites and writing papers on those, but we also already have more active live users on our products than any individual agency. And we're growing much faster than any individual agency could. So our data is going to continue to get better over time, and we are going to be my aim and my goal is for us to become a source of authority and knowledge and truth in this space so that our product can grow from there rather than the product providing the proof and the authority. Because the product is secondary, the product will evolve. And that's the last thing I'll say here, that because of this AI revolution and everything's moving so quickly, what works today is not going to work 3 weeks from now. And it's not certainly not going to work 3 months from now. So it's kind of irrelevant what the tool does today. It's really relevant is how we're going to keep up with it over time.
Absolutely. 100%. I'm with you on this one. Absolutely. I'm so fascinated, and I'm happy to hear that from another person who is also fascinating as I am. That's great, and congratulations on how things are going with your career, and many successful professionals like basically doing well financially. They're making good salary and making nice financial settings with your help. And next question will come. Obviously, it comes naturally. They have to know what happens if they will stop working. If people will start working, their income might be slowed down, lower, or maybe dried up. So there are some of them looking for another sources of income. Some of them looking for stocks, bonds, and anything else. What is your thoughts on creating income outside of work?
It's twofold. I mean, you should always have your money working for you if you can, and you should be budgeting and saving the appropriate amounts and, using the tax advantages that we have access to, of course. On the other hand, too many people get into investing thinking that it's going to be passive income. And frankly, it shouldn't be, right? Why would you interrupt healthy compounding with withdrawals? If it's working, now you're going to stop it from working. So we should separate secondary income from investments. And secondary income should be something more like a side hustle. So let's say, I have a hobby. I like to make things out of leather. So I made my wife a purse, right? If I really wanted to have a side hustle, maybe I would start making purses and selling them in my free time, right? That's a secondary income. Investment income is different, and investment is all about time and compounding. And I am not the kind of advisor who calls you at 2 a.m. to tell you, oh my God, we have to buy more Tesla. Please do not do that. That's not how we operate. That's not how a healthy financial plan operates. That's just not responsible behavior. Proper investing is asset allocation over time.
Absolutely. You have full support on this side of the screen. And another question, we're almost done with the interview, but if people wants to connect with you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you, to your services, to your expertise, and to your knowledge?
Probably LinkedIn is best. We have a booking link there. You can message me directly. Our website, everreadyfinancial.com. You can also contact me at rafi@lovedby.ai, but probably LinkedIn is easiest.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Rafi, for sharing your experience and your thoughts about current status of business and AI specifically. I'm happy to have you as a guest. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All
Pleasure
right.
to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the New York Professional Spotlight. If you're a successful New York professional with insights to share, visit nyprofessionalspotlight.com/guest and apply to be featured on the show.